everybody.
Hello.
Hope everyone's having a not as a rainy day as we're having today. We're likely to float away at some time during the broadcast. I feel like last week we also had the same situation where we had lots of rain on the way. Mm-hmm. This is Minute to Skim It. You're watching us here on The Experience. You can always catch us and never ever miss us if you do subscribe to the YouTube channel, because it will let you know that we're going live. We are also on every single Tuesday at this exact same time and have been for years and years and years and years. You can rely on us kind of like, I don't know, what are the reliable things? Not Texas weather. Don't count on that. Reliable things like that mom is picking you up from school. Yeah. She's always going to pick you up. All right, everybody. So we're here to talk to you about the comics that are coming out tomorrow / today if you have a DC store. You can find all of these books today / tomorrow at your local comic shop using comic shop locator if you're traveling. I say this because I had some friends come and visit the store today from South Carolina, I believe. And they had a lot of fun. So look, they came and supported a local comic shop even when they weren't near their local comic shop. So that's super cool. All right, so Here we go. We're going to do non-spoilery show. All right. I'm going to start with awesome Scout book that I just got through reading. Hey, Milton, I see you down there. This is from their imprint, Black Caravan, which always means it's going to be a little bit spooky. This one appears to be about a group of young people that are all probably orphans, because it seems they're all coming from the same facility. But I don't know if they're trying to say that they just got through going through puberty and then this mutation started happening then, or if it's just stress or something comes on them and they actually have manifest these things. In the case of the main character, he is part dog, and it's kind of unclear whether the dog is his true form or the boy is his true form. And I think that's probably part of the twist. This is a really, really awesome book. Broken Souls Ballad. Probably not released everywhere today. But Scout has a really fun thing that they do, and they allow retailers to buy directly from them, so we can get things in the store as soon as they're printed for you guys. So crazy thing. You can ask your local comic shop if they wanted to sign up with Scout's direct ship program, because it's open to all of them. So if you'd like to be the first person on the block with everything, there's your chance.
Ashcan from Scout. Mullet Cop.
Oh, sorry. I got to get my mullet on.
You got to get your mullet.
There you go. Party in the back.
I was hoping for utter ridiculousness, and I got it.
This is just Ashcan, so don't freak out, everybody. This is not out for a little while, but it is Mullet Cop's Ashcan.
Yeah, I don't really know how to explain it. It feels like it takes place simultaneously in the 80s, but also in the future. And also maybe kind of in space.
What?
I don't know. It doesn't feel like
space cop.
It doesn't feel like Earth to me. I have no idea. But I don't think you're supposed to know just based off of the Ashcan, though. So
wasn't Axe Cop created by the artist's son? As far as I know, no. This one is created, though, by Tom Lintern, which the art style is very unique. It's very soft and pastel-y and not heavy line work. Reminds me a little bit, how Peach does, which is very light-handed. All right, now is the time to panic. The next issue of Nottingham is going to be available this week. This is issue number 3. This is a Mad Cave book. Probably it might be y'all's first exposure to Mad Cave, which it shouldn't have been, because they have been killing it for years. Go back and get all of the other stuff like Battle Cats and Honor and Curse. Yeah, there's so many good ones. So much stuff that they have. It's like every genre, whatever genre you want, they're doing it. So Nottingham is exactly what you think it is from the title. It is based in the Robin Hood kind of lore. The main character in this series is the Sheriff of Nottingham. He is out trying to solve a series of murders. All of the tax collectors are being killed. Go figure. And it's so weird. Like Will Scarlet and the Robin character and Maid Marian, everyone is played very differently than what you expect, but it totally still fits in the way this whole storyline rolls out. For example, in this book, you find out, or the main characters find out, that there is going to be a large tournament, just like in the Disney version of it. Even it's like, oh, there was a tournament in which we could win lots of good stuff. Yeah, so it's a very dark look at that genre and storyline. But that's why everyone loves it, and that's why it continues to completely sell out. Every single printing and issue has completely sold out everywhere. So you're either going to have to wait for those things with the trade paperback, or find a really good friend to get you 1 and 2. But here you go. Don't miss out on having number 3, because you're going to be sad and when 4 comes out that you don't have number 3. So get it.
Legend of the Dark Knight number 1. So a lot of the book is a flashback to the previous few days, where a shipment that had gone into the docks of Gotham had been stolen, and now they're trying to figure out, first of all, who has it, and second of all, which of our beloved villains, I want to say.
That question mark. Would you say it that way?
Right. Maybe in the market for it.
And this is, you told me what it is, but is that a secret? It's always Joker, do you think? Probably.
I don't know. We'll see. They all use it. It's a gas. I'm not gonna say what it is, because I don't know if it's, I'm sure it is in the.
Well, usually when I think about gas, I always think of the Scarecrow, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's the Scarecrow.
Well, because Joker also uses a gas, and Mr. Freeze uses a gas to power his, to help with his freeze gun. And
so you're saying it could be any of them?
Could it be any of them? Scarecrow, Penguin also use gases, and
I actually heard.
I really love the mystery ones, though. So
yeah. I heard from someone the other day that I think they're saying in Chicago that you can go on a tour of the Chris Nolan sites that he used for the Batman films. I guess it's all there's all of it that they use Chicago as Gotham, which is so funny to me. But I would totally do that tour. Would you guys do that tour?
Oh, I would totally do that tour.
Down for that tour.
Yeah.
As long as it didn't happen during the winter and they didn't make me walk out on the ice to make a choice.
It'd still be really cool, though.
That part of the movie disturbs me so much.
Why are you opening this shit?
Huh?
Why are you opening this?
I don't know. I like it. I shouldn't. This one should be rated, Z. All right. This is Red Room, as promised by Ed Piskor. It is just as reprehensible as possible. For anybody that's not aware, Red Room is, if you are watching Red Room videos, it's kind of like the new version of snuff videos. So in this book, it is about a group that has figured out a way to be on the dark web and monetize these snuff films and have popular snuffers that get lots of hits, or in this case, there's lots of Bitcoin that gets donated or that gets given so they can say what happened, what horrible thing happens next to these people. And its base story, it is about these snuff guys, this snuff company that does snuff films in the Red Room. they're finding that one of their main moneymakers is become predictable to the audience. The audience is tuning out and not donating money. So they're on the lookout for another new twisted version. And when you figure out who it is in the story, it'll make you sad and disgusted. But that is what's supposed to be happening in this. The art is really graphic. Makes you really glad not to be one of those people or be the target of them. But yeah, this one's got a lot of heat, this book. We should have known because he has been telling us for months and months and months that it was going to be a thing. So if you've never read anything from Ed Piskor, his other books that he did, where he took both Fantastic Four and the X-Men and kind of made them into shortened versions of the entire storyline. So you didn't have to buy like 150 books. You could buy 4 and know everything there was to know about X-Men from the beginning. It was kind of like a little sweet primer for his stuff. But he always does a very stylized look. You will always know Ed's stuff because it's he doesn't do art like anybody else. So just be aware. Do absolutely not leave this book around for the kids to pick up. They will need psychology. Lots of it. Therapy, psychology. And probably some pharmacology to help them through it. I swear. It's bad. Yep. You see the area all the time? Bitcoin. Yep, Joe. I'm jealous you get to see it. You just solved the Batman mystery? It's Elon Musk. Bitcoin gas. Sure, why not? I mean, if it's not, someone needs to write that book. That's what we're deciding.
Oh no! Don't give Keenspot any more ideas.
All right. Well, Keenspot.
They need to finish. They need to finish the other ones they've only done one shots of.
Stray Dogs number 4. This series by Tony Fleece has been destroying our minds and our hearts for months. It always has this main cover, and then it has a cool homage cover. The homage cover is referential to some horror film, obviously, but the storyline is basically that the dogs in this story, there's many, many, many of them owned by this one fellow. And they have figured out, even though dogs don't have long memories, that they were once owned by other people. And that it appears that their new owner is the person who killed their old owners. So he is a serial killer. And it's getting pretty real for the dogs as they realize that the owner does not just kill people. So wrap your mind around that, kiddos. No character is safe. I know we all whine like dogs now.
Far Cry, Rite of Passage.
Pew pew.
It's a first-person shooter game. Yeah,
that's why I did pew pew. I was first-person pewing. I would die in like 2 minutes. I cannot do first-person.
For me, if I'm by myself, I have a harder time. But
we love you, JD.
So this one's about a boy who's turning his birthday is the day of this comic, and it's his 13th birthday, and so he and his dad are celebrating. Just gonna pause for dramatic effect because his dad,
dun, dun, dun.
They live in somewhere in Latin America, so of course, what's the thing that you would do with your dad is, talk about how his dad doesn't necessarily do good things.
What is going on this week in books? This is the most dark week ever. We're all going to need the psychology afterwards.
Yeah. The artwork is not like what's on the cover, really. But it's so pretty on the inside. And the dad is telling his son a story about I'm not 100% sure if it's somebody that he knows or maybe it's like a family member, but the boy doesn't know yet either. So, but it's even though the dad doesn't do 100% good things, it's a pretty heartwarming story.
So he's at least good to his own child?
Yeah, he's really good to his son, but the son knows he doesn't do things that are always good. So
just like in Suicide Squad, where Deadshot's daughter is Daddy, I know what you do.
Yeah.
And I still love you. That little part was just like,
I know.
Kids will forgive anything, won't they? You just beat the snot out, not in that movie, but you just beat the snot out of me, but I still love you, Daddy. It's like, come on now. Be good to your kids. You made them after all. All right, this is, awesome book. Antarctic Press, OBE. OBE. Otherwise known as Out of Body Experience. So this one is a really trippy book. It looks like there is a common practice to force yourself into out-of-body experiences. There's actual places where you can go do this thing. And it's about going into a trance and then, there's some words for this thing that happens and I can't remember they are. Oh, curse me. But it's cool and spiritual. But there are people that get addicted to being in that state. And the problem is that when you're there, you're like not in your own body and of course not taking care of it, like breathing or moving or any of those things. So they pretty much say if you spend more than 3 hours a day in OBE, then you're not doing good things for yourself.
The cover's super cool though.
Yeah. And I think in this one that there's like the two main characters are police officers trying to solve a crime, but there's this other stuff going on. So I love things that are sci-fi and mystical and weird, and that they're based a little bit in reality, but then there's a whole bunch of fantasy to it to just take you on this ride. It's kind of the way I feel about this one.
All right. From Dark Horse, Rangers of the Divide, from Megan Huang. Oh my gosh. I was like, okay, this one looks super cool. And Jen was like, yeah, this one's going to you, Hannah. And I was like, yes, because I was really excited. Oh my goodness. So pretty. Just the artwork, the story.
She showed me the first page.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
It reminds me of the first time I saw the art from Isola.
Yes. Yeah, I love that art too. So we've got people and we've got dragons. The people are the Rangers and their dragons are their mounts. And they also help fight because they're Rangers. Of course, they're helping to protect the area. And oh goodness. Okay, yeah. There are 6 members of the team at this one outpost, right? And one of the most well-known Ranger leaders has come to kind of help them out a little bit. They don't necessarily get along as well as the other groups of Rangers do at the other outposts. And I think this is Elsie down here. I think so.
It's Travis Gibb. Travis Gibb, we love you too, man. Keep writing those best books in the business and we'll keep on reviewing them.
Yeah. So she is the leader of this group, but she's not really prepared to be a leader. She's like, if one of the very first things that happens in this book is that the base is getting attacked, and so she's like, okay, let's go fight the thing. So she goes off to fight it by herself because no one else wants to go help her. That's a bad idea.
No,
so
by the way, if no one here knows who Travis Gibb is, you should say hi to him. He should share his socials. Coming up soon is going to be Voodoo Nation number 2. and broke down 4 dead bodies. What are we on? 5? Both amazing series. He's also done plenty of other really good ones, but those are the 2 that I'm like super focused on right now. So Travis, you can totally share all those things. We often get creatives come and join our show. We love having them on. We're big fans.
Yeah.
They don't know this, but we get super freaked out when they show up because we're like, oh my gosh, it's the person that makes the cool thing we like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. Man, we've been fans of this book for a really, really long time, and it's been taking hiatuses. I think it went to number 6 and then took a break, and then took a break until issue 10. This one actually resolves a question that we have had since issue number 1. Mm-hmm. This primarily this issue has almost nothing to do with Anne Bonny. Anne Bonny is actually a dead pirate, dead famous pirate. The main character in this book is Ariana, and she wants desperately to be a pirate,
just like Anne Bonny.
Just like Anne Bonny. The title. Yep. She already has her first boat in the first issue. Mm-hmm. This one's a great one for teens if you're trying to get teens into books, because it also has a little bit of mystery to it and a little bit of magic. So like one of our really good friends is a merman that comes out of the sea in the first issue. Not really a great person. And so it's all about piracy, but also some other very mystical things are going on. And this one, the reason why you want Anne Bonny number 10 is because it does finally solve a big mystery I'm telling you that you've had in your brain. The pirate with 2 first names. This is true. She did. But just so that you guys know, in history, there really was a pirate named Anne Bonny. Real person. So, famous person. Ta-da. Okay. Do I want to go again?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we'll be even. Okay.
I'm obsessed also with this series. This is Sleeping Beauties number 6. It's based on a novel by Stephen and Owen King. The premise of it is that something mystical happens in which women that fall asleep get this like weird cocoon that forms over their head. But we're far enough along in the series to have realized that where those women go is to another place. Kind of like if you're thinking about, today we're talking about Immortal Hulk, where he goes to the other side of the green door. This is another place that they go and they live out their lives completely independent of their bodies, which is kind of cool. It's very idealistic. It's like beautiful and fun, but no men. But meanwhile, in the real world of their town, and there is a woman named Eve Black who had shown up and is in the prison, who is the one person that they don't know where she's from. She won't tell them, and that she can actually fall asleep and wake back up and have nothing happen to her. So there's think about her as probably related. I'm familiar with reading any of Stephen King's books. This is a really beautiful series drawn by our friend Allison Sampson. Yes. And not this issue, because I looked to see, but next issue, number 7, you will see not only me and my role, but many other people's roles. You might recognize some people. I haven't seen the pages themselves, but I know that number 7 is where it was supposed to be. I'm also, you can see me a lot in issue number 4.
Yeah.
You will totally know what you're looking at.
Yeah.
Because I look exactly like this, but I'm a prisoner, yo.
Yes.
But you should read Sleeping Beauties because it's an amazing book. So,
yeah.
There you go.
I'm gonna do this one. My first Rom V book of the day. Catwoman number 31. So last issue, she went to this fancy party that was also going to be, I don't know if it was going to be an auction. It went off the rails pretty quickly, so
who knows what it was supposed to be.
I think it was supposed to be an auction, but they were also going to like reveal some famous paintings, like for the first time that people were going to see them in a really long time.
Ooh.
Of course, you add Catwoman to the mix, and some of those went missing.
I wonder if she has any ability to like control herself. Is it a compulsion for her?
Well, I'm trying to figure out what I can say. So up until all the other issues up till this point, she's been trying to find Ivy.
Mm-hmm.
And in the last issue, she figured out like where Ivy was. So she had been working on a plan to save Ivy.
Okay. And
the plan is going into place here. Whether or not it works, I'm not going to say.
Joe,
but
you punk. You don't get to say that you're a hack.
Yeah.
You need to share your stuff too, man.
Yeah.
No drive-by side remarks. Sometimes I just forget, like, sometimes people that are famous creators also become regulars of ours, and sometimes we forget what's what. Sometimes we just forget. We're dorks. Okay.
I try to follow everybody on Twitter too, so.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, Joe, man. Share your things. All right, look at this. JD's like, whoosh, Lighthouse, number 2. It is also Jules Verne's Lighthouse, but don't think that it has anything to do with the way you would imagine you would see Jules Verne stuff. It's not steampunky.
Right.
This is
sci-fi, right?
Definitely sci-fi, happens in space, so this is way more like, you know, future space looking stuff. So the Lighthouse was this floating, like, what am I going to call this? It's not a satellite. Giant computer in space that had a bunch of knowledge, etc. in it. The problem is that at the very beginning of issue number 1, there's a big group of pirates that infiltrate and try to take over the lighthouse. So now this is just moving on from there, where they've captured some of the people that were originally part of the lighthouse. Some of the people that were on the lighthouse have escaped in a ship, and it's not looking good for them. So this is more about getting to know more about the characters themselves. So this is very much space-a-drama.
All right. Pizza Punks Collection by Cole Pauls. I was really hungry for pizza after reading this.
Really?
Oh my gosh, yes. I was like, oh man, I almost wish I would have stayed and gotten pizza from Marini's instead. But basically, it's a bunch of 3 to 6 panel stories that are about punks eating pizza.
You send me pizza. We do have a pizzeria in our space.
We do.
It would be really gross by the time I got to you. I'm just thinking.
I think they even said that it was originally, like.
Is it all printed on that neon orange paper?
Yeah, it is. It is absolutely.
I have a feeling they got a really good deal on neon orange paper.
Right. It fits though. Like, basically the feel of it is that it was like those, you know, those posters that like bands make. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Groovy.
Yeah, that's exactly. I think it was originally like published in Dunk magazine. Yeah. And then it kind of took off from there. So this is the first time that it's collected all into one thing. So because it's been printed before, I think it can show if you no,
don't risk it.
It's true. But it also has like extra pinups from some of his friends and stuff. It's pretty great. It's fantastic, and it's all black on orange, which I love. I love that color scheme.
Does it look like Halloween's?
Mm-hmm. And pizza. Lots of pizza.
All right. Cullen Bunn, Phantom on the Scan, which is hilarious because I don't think that the name is a good one because I can't ever remember what this book's about until I'm reading it, and then I'm like, oh yeah, I know exactly what this is about because the name Phantom on the Scan doesn't tell us anything. Oh, this is that weird one that I love. Ah, Cullen, you made such a good horror flick. How to explain this book? Basically, this group of people has found this weird, gross creature. I don't even know what's going on in this book. It's so crazy good. I don't know how much I can actually tell you about what's going on. It looks like most everybody in the book is seeing like ghost-like images or ghost-like creatures. And it's not 100% clear what's real and what's fake in the book. But it's really good Cullen Bunn horror. Don't miss out on that one. Do I have to go again? No. Maybe. Yeah. I'll do this one. Okay. White Lily.
We both read that one.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
White Lily is an awesome book about how do I explain? She gets captured. She's Jewish, but she's not. I think she's Russian Jew. She gets captured and conscripted into the pilots fighting against the Germans, obviously. And I think this is World War I. And so she's really good at what she does. She's racked up the very first kill of any female as part of their Air Force. So this one is a little bit about that part of her life, about the kind of like the weirdness of that. It was not normal for her time, and a little bit about her relationships and the fact that she gets shot down in enemy territory and has to find her way back. So there's a lot of different elements to this issue, but it's just a 5-issue miniseries and it's really, really good. It's Red 5.
All right. La Mano del Destino.
Lucha, lucha, lucha!
Yeah, I was waiting for you to say it. So this is volume 1. I think there's 5 issues in here. Let me double check before I say that.
Not Manos, The Hand of Fate, and also not Nacho Libre.
6 issues in this, or issue-sized chapters. It also has a bunch of extra information. So if you love learning about things, not just in like in outside of the story about.
So is it about luchadors?
It is.
Aha!
It also has like information like if you just wanted to learn about it, not in the story. So that way it wasn't just their stories painting the picture of what a luchador is. And because the biggest thing is when a luchador beats another luchador, they take their mask off. And
it's like getting demasked as a hero, man.
Yeah, exactly. And for our main character, La Mano del Destino, he wasn't always La Mano del Destino, but he had to become La Mano del Destino because he had been unmasked.
Aha!
So there's so much that goes on in this. It's a big, thick book.
It looks amazing.
It's so good. And the colors, Jen, the colors. Yeah.
The colors on the cover are representative of the color scheme of the inside.
And it goes through and it has the covers for each chapter and it's got more than just like the comics. It's got info before each chapter as well. Let's see. I think that's really all I need to say. It's pretty great. I was like, this one looks really cool. I'm going to see, if the story, and of course the story was phenomenal.
I don't think we've ever been disappointed by any lucha-related
True.
stuff that's come out.
Yeah.
That, nor boxing, nor MMA, wrestling, any of those things. We've liked all of those books.
Yeah. There were so many twists because it's the trade that I was like, oh my gosh, and then I got to keep reading. I was like, yes.
All right, Heroes Reborn number 3, which is the mini-series that's running right now through Marvel. It has a bunch of little individual books, but this is the main storyline. This one deals with the speedster that exists in this universe. The universe is made with the premise that the Avengers never existed. So in this one, the main storyline doesn't touch on anything except for the story of the speedster and his relationship with the world, and that's really fun. It's a really, really fun look. It's like one of those things like, well, this one, out of all of them so far, I could see this character kind of sticking around to exist. And then after that, there's another story behind it, and that's the one that actually touches on, you get to actually see Blade again, which I don't think we've seen Blade since the first issue. He's someone who knows what's going on, and he will say such. And then we know that the Hulk knows what's going on, but stuff happened in the last issue, which if you read it, you know why. That doesn't matter that he knows anymore. So this one furthers the storyline. I don't know where they're headed with it, but it's a fun ride. Just kind of like it reads like a big gigantic what if, which does not make me mad at all, because they're also doing a nice Spider-Man what if, which has been one of those I'm like, oh, please keep this around, because
I like
this
what ifs.
I could get behind.
I like what ifs. All right, Nightwing number 80.
First appearance time.
That's right.
I've already been called about it today.
It's already. I mean, it's on the cover. Introducing Heartless. I hadn't been reading Nightwing because there's so much to read, and I need to catch up on a lot of books. But basically, what's been going on is that there's been a serial killer who, after killing the people, he's been cutting out their hearts and taking them with him. So
I feel like they need that for something.
I don't know. But I definitely need to go back and reread, because the Bloodhaven police seem to think Nightwing may know something about it.
Does he?
I don't know, because I am not caught up. But I think it must have been either the last issue or the issue before, he had met a homeless man and his son, and so he put them up in a hotel, and now the son has gone missing. So I love them. I love mysteries. I just love mysteries. So
all right, Shang Chi's got another series called Shang Chi versus the Marvel Universe. Starts out a little bit like not like a giant versus the Marvel Universe, and more about Shang Chi. He in this book has just taken over control of the big criminal enterprise that is, I forgot what it's called, the Five Somethings, and his sister, who is part of the same organization, obviously. They're, I guess, trying to clean it up so it's not a criminal organization, but I don't know how much work that's going to be, since that's what it's been all of its time. So this one is a little bit of slice of life about them trying to deal with that stuff. And then also Spidey shows up, and it's clear that they know each other, but then it's awkward. So I think that's what's going to happen. It's just the whole idea. Shang's going to get caught up in like you've got all these bad guys that are part of your organization. You need to do something about that. And I think that he's going to find himself between a rock and a hard place in this regard. So it's a good start. And if you don't know anything about Shang Chi, it's a good introduction to the character ahead of the movie.
Yeah. All right.
Mm-hmm.
I think you also read Home.
I did.
I got to read number 2. So, oh goodness, I just forgot the little boy's name.
Oh, I don't remember either. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. So in the first issue, the boy and his mom are trying to come to America. They are trying to go about it, the right is the right way that they can.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, they don't speak enough English, and so they get thrown into the detention center, separated. And if you haven't picked it up yet, I'm gonna have to say what happens in the first issue.
Yeah, so cover your ears for the spoiler at the end of the first issue if you don't want to hear it.
Yeah, he's got superpowers. His hands are glowing. He blew a hole through the wall.
Mm-hmm.
And so in this issue picks up directly. He's running away because he's scared.
Mm-hmm.
He's separated from his mom. He doesn't know what to do. And in this issue, gosh, I was going to say things, but I don't know if I can now.
It's okay. I mean, that's kind of like a good way to tease you need to read number 2.
You really need to read it because, like, what I thought was going on, I mean, even with what happened at the end of the first book, I still, it's so good.
I like it because it does make you think very seriously about what is going on at the border with all the detention centers. It's a very complex thing. Yeah. Hanna often doesn't know. She's like, can't say anything. I'm like, well, just say some basic stuff.
Yeah.
You can say enough to get people teased.
Yeah.
They know what
just tell you that if you miss this, you are going to be very sad.
Yeah, number 1.
Especially if which they should, put it into development.
Yeah, number 1 was definitely a very swift sellout. So
yeah.
Okay, I got to talk to Alex Padadell yesterday about this, and it is on the Experience, the interview, so you can go back and watch that. It's just a half an hour, so you're not going to have to spend a lot of time. The Immortal Hulk Time of Monsters, which, he teased me and told me that it was the beginning or the introduction of a new Immortal Hulk form, which is totally true. So by way of explanation, there are some forms of the Hulk that exist that are older in timeline. Like if you were to say, who was the first Immortal Hulk form? That's going to be clearly the 1 million BC. Which one is that one? This Savage? No, it's the... Oh, I can't remember. He's like the something Hulk that's another character related. It's a really cool character. That one still exists and predates this one. But this one in timeline should be the next in line you'll ever see. It's a really heartbreaking origin story in which it's a village of people that are clearly starving to death. The chief goes and does a very horrible thing by way of trying to save his people. And it does result in this new form of the Hulk. But when you figure out what's going on, it will mess with your mind pretty deeply. It's such a good storyline. So good. And then there's another one right after it. So there's 2 of them back to back. The second one is kind of like just a look at Bruce Banner and Hulk, but like a normal timeline, not the 400 BC look. So don't miss it. It is the first appearance of a new Hulk form.
And we both read this one.
Yes, we did. We love this series.
Yes. The Many Deaths of Lila Starr.
You want me to set up the first one?
Yes.
Okay, so in the first one, The being that is Layla Starr in this book, it started out life as Death. Think of the Indian goddess Death. And she gets called up to the head god's office. This is literally how it's laid out. No lie.
It's like a corporate building.
Yeah. And it gets told, hey, we're downsizing your department because we've looked forward in time and this boy creates immortality. So we don't need you anymore. We're gonna get rid of your department. So we're gonna put you in the body of a mortal and let you figure yourself out as we wind down the need of you. So, as you can tell by the name of the many deaths of Layla Starr, her mortality gets interrupted multiple times. The first one is her first death. This one involves her second death. So,
you also find out who her friend the crow is, and the artwork in this one is so pretty.
Yeah, so Ramvi, who's the writer, is himself Indian. So he takes a lot of the beautiful imagery from India and the spiritual aspects, and wraps them all together in amazing storytelling. So you'll always see a little bit of India in his work, but it's so rich that part of the world. It's wonderful.
Yeah, this one they also show funerals because the average everyday person's not going to know that death is gone. So I think it's a really cool insight into a culture that you don't really see a whole lot of in any media, really. Any Western media, anyway.
Yeah. All right. Any other ones? Did we get all of it?
Yep.
All right. Looks like we've finished up. What time is it now? Oh, we're not going to torture Kyle. Kyle will be like, how am I going to do news? Man. There has been news today. It has been a fun day. Kyle, you want to come on with us? We'll do a three hangout.
There has been news today. I have not seen any of it, but I'm told it happened.
Yeah.
I spent my day in training, which has been super helpful and amazing, and stuff like that for helping people in my community with autism. So I spent all day doing that, and I've not paid attention to anything that happened. Not the least of which is what happened in the comic book world. So what I miss? I heard a Snake Eyes trailer happen.
Well, okay, let's see what's actually been announced here. Let's find out.
Dear Evan Hansen, the trailer dropped.
Ooh.
If you're a musical fan. Yeah.
I love that musical.
Ben Platt's coming back to play the main character again. So
I met him just once, hi, I'm Kyle. Can you sign this thing? Kind of in that kind of, like when you meet somebody at a convention. He had played a show near here and I went. I really like his voice and I know how hard that show was to do.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited to see the movie. It's a great year for musical movies.
It is.
In the Heights. Cannot wait.
And eventually we'll get to see Hamilton together.
If you're not a musical fan, In the Heights is Romeo and Juliet or West Side Story, or really Romeo and Juliet or West Side Story. Or if you want to get into comic books, it's there's a bunch of comic books with this, but it's by Lin-Manuel Miranda, so it's all cool. Much cooler than.
Yeah. Adrian was on the other side of the camera doing that just now.
That's what I think when I think of West Side.
Of course.
We're gonna find out. I don't know why it's fighting, but okay.
Yeah, it's a great year for musical movies. But also we've started the countdown for Cruella.
Yeah.
Has everybody else started the Cruella countdown?
Well, okay, so this is what I figured out just from the last trailer. I thought Cruella was just kind of like a coming of age story of Cruella, but I figured out what it is a fashion house clothes off. I think it's a fashion house in which she's the new unknown designer, and she's dethroning the used to be the hotness. I think that's the other character we see in those trailers. I think we're going to see so much awesome fashion, and since I'm a costume designer at heart, I'm super psyched now.
I'm really
So what is the movie with Emily Blunt, The Devil Wears Prada?
Yeah.
It's that movie with dogs?
Yep.
All right, I can get behind this.
I'm kind of like, part of me is just holding out hope that there's going to be like a reference. I know there won't be, but just a reference to Devil Wears Prada.
Yeah.
They might like have like a scene that looks like it, or. All right,
I've never seen The Devil Wears Prada, but that was my immediate kind of vibe from the trailer.
I love The Devil Wears Prada. It's one of my favorite movies. My mom and I would watch it like all the time.
All right, Kyle, you're gonna have to help me with this one because I feel like I should know who this person is, but my brain is escaping me today.
Okay.
So they just announced that a little bit earlier today that Marvel has tapped John Ridley to write the new Black Panther series.
Ooh.
Now, where do I know John from?
Well, I know him from trying really hard to book him on our BCU event. But he wrote 12 Years a Slave. Yeah, he won the Oscar for that. He also wrote Let It Fall, which was he also did the Let It Fall doc about LA in the early 80s to the early 90s. But he kind of got his start though, and I just learned this on The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
He's been on so many good things.
Mm-hmm. But in terms of comics, he wrote with Ben Oliver The Authority, that came out from Wildstorm. He wrote Razor's Edge and Warblade for DC, and he wrote The American Way for Wildstorm.
Nice.
So yeah, I mean, John Ridley is one of the hottest movie writers going right now. So the fact that they've tapped him to write Black Panther, in my estimation, means that they have a plan going forward for the character that creates IP that maybe doesn't feature T'Challa.
Mm-hmm.
It's a story that can easily be adapted to film in the current, situation they're in. So
yeah,
that's my, kind of thoughts on that. I really like his work.
All right, there's something else I want to talk about that I also saw that has been buzzing around the internet today.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Zack Snyder has another universe that he is part of that he also wants to make a director's cut for. And in this case, I don't think anyone's going to fight anybody on it. It's Sucker Punch.
Yeah, that was a good movie.
I'm going to fight him on it just because do we really need more 4-hour Zack Snyder cuts of things?
I haven't even
In this case, yes. Sorry, I perfected the dance from that.
I mean, that's fair, but if he keeps it to normal movie length, I'll be all right. If we get into Lord of the Rings length, we have a problem. That's going to be my rule. I'm down for Sucker Punch, but By the way, I forgot. I just saw it. It just came up on my screen. John Ridley also wrote Next Batman for the Future State.
Oh, now see, yes, that's been good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't have a problem with more Snyder. I have a problem with Snyder length. If he can be concise, I'm good with it. But also, what I would like to see him do is just make the movie. Don't make sure your name is mentioned in every article and every news site for the 8 months leading up to your movie. Just make the movie, man. Like, you don't have to tell people about your thoughts on Gal Gadot. It doesn't matter. Like,
I'm sorry, but I really quite internally loved people having to eat crow. That for the 8 months that he was talking about, or the 2 years or whatever it was, talking about his Snyder cut for the Batman stuff, that everyone was like, it's going to suck. It's going to be the worst thing ever. And then 3 seconds after it releases, they're like, it's the best thing ever made. Let him write everything over again.
I stand by the crap I talked. Did not enjoy
I
it.
haven't seen it yet, so every single time I make plans to go to Jenna's house to watch it, something comes up. Every single time, no matter what. So
Steve's with me. He says more Snyder.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with Snyder himself. I have a problem with length. And then I have a problem with, just talking all the dang time. But then thirdly, I didn't enjoy the recut. I didn't enjoy the first one. You can only polish a turd so much. And that's what I think happened on that movie. So he's yet to re-ingratiate himself to me. However, and I just said this, keep the next one short on the Snyder cut, and I'm in. It won't take much to re-ingratiate yourself to me.
Yeah. I'm too ADHD for movies most of the time anyway.
That's probably why I didn't enjoy it. It's like, this is 4 hours long. I need to do like 95 things.
I think I'm with you, man. I think he is on a 12-hour news cycle, because 18 hours ago, he said that he has figured out the Justice League sequels. He's got it all figured out.
Yeah.
He's just going to give us breadcrumbs.
Mm-hmm. So the big news yesterday was the DC or the Warner Media Discovery thing. Mm-hmm. And we mentioned on Nerd News Now, which you'll see later in the week, that I had the idea for The Deadliest Catch meets Cthulhu, but I figured out the better fit.
Oh.
Aquaman joins the cast of The Deadliest Catch.
Oh, man, I like the Cthulhu showing up.
Sure. But, like, Aquaman, you don't have to, like, you could just put the stuff down in the down in the water, and Aquaman goes, "Hey guys, you want to come in?" And the crab just goes in, and it makes it safe for everybody. It'd be the most boring show ever, but it'd be Aquaman. It'd be Jason Momoa. So, do we really need an excuse for more Jason Momoa?
Maybe not.
Maybe not. But, it's that time, guys. I got to go be on the air with Dan Wickline in just a second.
I'm jealous. Say hi to Dan for us.
Yeah.
I will. Have a good show over on Comic Book Shopping Network.
Absolutely. Everybody stay tuned, because Dan is amazing, and you definitely want to stick around and listen to these guys mish all over the cool things that were out this week, and what might be out. What they loved for their pull boxes. They're cool dudes. All right, everybody.
We'll see everybody next time.
Bye.